Welcome, Janta. So this is the first episode of our Seekhein chess. So ये मैंने स्ट्रीम इसलिए बनाई है ताकि बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं जो चेस सीखना चाहते हैं but they sometimes find it difficult to get into the game because feels like it's a bit of complicated game and maybe they are not cut out for it, or maybe they just don't find it interesting, where actually in the real terms it's actually very interesting game. Since I have started playing it, I have really found it amazing, and the more you get to play it, the more details you understand about the game, the more fun it begins. And playing it live with other people around the world, especially on the websites like chess.com, which provides a very awesome platform for the chess players, it becomes amazing. So let's start with the very basic. I'm gonna keep these episodes short so that I'll give you crisp and clear information on each of the episode, and it will be easier for you to like traverse through the series rather than spending too much time on it. So, and let's start with the basics. Today we will only be covering that how basic chessboard is all about and what are the pieces, and a very small movement about the pieces. So then we'll take up further in the next video. And so do like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon if you haven't already. And without wasting any more of time, let's start. So basically, as you can see, there's a chessboard open, and you the very basic fundamental about the chess game is that it's a two-player game where one player plays with the white pieces, the other player plays with the black pieces, and the white one makes the first move. So first of all, how many types of pieces are there in the chessboard? There are total 6 types of pieces. One is rook, knight, bishop, queen, king, and the pawn. Okay, so these are the 6 types of pieces. For rook, knight, and bishop, we see that there is a double pair for each of them. So you'll find another bishop, another knight, another king, or another rook, and there would be 8 pawns, which will be on the second rank. So when I say rank, these are generally the rows which you see, and when I say files, these are generally the columns which you see. So we'll understand the notation of the ranks and the files in our next video, where I'll teach you the notation on how a chessboard works. uh, for now we will be going into how do we open the game. So the game will be opened by a white player making a move. Now, what all pieces can make the first move? It obviously feels like to a beginner that a pawn can make the first move, and that's absolutely right because they are standing in forward, and then probably there are certain other piece which can start the game, and that would be our knight. So we'll see how it will do. And but without further delay, so how does the pawn move? So pawn moves either a one step or a two step in its first move. Okay, so that's how we'll start. And so let me start a quick game and show you how will it work. Okay, 1 second. So it's searching for an opponent. Should be start shortly, and now it is. So if you see, now I have the chance to make the first move, so I'm gonna make the first move, and that's you can see. So I have just moved the e pawn, and why this move is called e4 and everything, that I'll get into the next video. And if you see, so what I was about to cover, that who is the other what is the other piece which can make the first move other than pawn, is beautifully expressed by our opponent here, that a knight can also make the first move. That is the only piece other than the pawn which can make the first move. So how does it move? It moves in a step of two in one direction and one step in another direction. We'll cover more about its movement and why knight is a very special player and everything about the other pieces. But I would be wrapping this video up to this much only, showing that how the pawn started the game and a knight can also start the game. But majorly on talking about the pawn, so pawn can make a two-step. Okay, as I shown, what a pawn can do is also start in a one-step, which I'll make it now. So this is, I'm showing a pawn can start with one step or a pawn can start with two step. Now if you can see, the opponent's pawn went two steps. So this is the only two variations. Okay, a pawn either makes a one step or a two step in his first move, followed by which it is always one step. So for example, if I have to move it ahead, I can't move this pawn two steps, not because there's a pawn on the black, obviously because it is right there, I can't put it on top of it. But even if this block would have been empty, I couldn't have moved two moves, so it will always would have moved one. And now you will see what else a pawn can do. I am assuming my opponent will capture this pawn. If not, we'll capture. So let's wait. So ideally, okay, so you can see. So now the other thing which a pawn can do is to move diagonally one step and capturing it. Remember, it can only capture diagonally, not horizontally or backwards or anything. A pawn always goes forward, and it either starts in a two-step or a one-step, and will always continue forward in a step of one, unless there is a piece which is sitting diagonally, like it was for this black pawn. My pawn was sitting diagonally and it has a chance to capture it, so it went ahead diagonally and captured it. Now, but it won't be like this, that in the next move this can move here. It won't. It will, if the opponent wants, he can move it forward. And if that would have been the case, if let's say he moves forward, in the next chance, if it is here, I can capture it with this only when it is here. It can't happen that I can put my pawn just to anticipate that he's going to move forward, so let's block it, so just put here. No, you can't. You can only move the pawn diagonally if there is a piece to capture it, otherwise you can only move forward. Okay, and there's a one very special scenario in which a pawn can capture another pawn diagonally, even when the captured piece is not sitting diagonal to it, and we will cover that. That requires a separate video, because that has its own very important concepts around it, so we don't want to mix it and confuse you viewers. So I think I have given a very basic understanding on how pawn moves. We'll cover on how a knight moves and what's the specialty about the knight movement across the board, and so that's where we will start our next video, and then we will later cover each piece. And so that's about it. Do let me know how did you like my first episode, and I'll definitely try to improve upon my streaming experience. It's my first video as such, properly putting it out, the first episode of Out Chess Seekhein. So let me know your feedback. Do like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Press the bell icon. And goodbye. See you. Bye.